Hello again, everyone. I think I'm going to call this particular segment Ask Rachel because I really love the idea of answering questions. So let's get right into it. There are five that I still need to answer from the last thread that got made. First question we have is from Casey Wright, and it says, why is the platypus the most unique, majestic creature, and should we embrace its dignified majesty as a spirit animal for humanity as a whole? Um, so first of all, I've always enjoyed the way that Casey does like grandiosity when they decide to speak on something like this. Second of all, platypi are or platypuses. I don't actually know. I didn't look it up, but they're really cool. Very interesting animals. Like so many little bits of evolution in them. I think that definitely they should be a mascot for like some of the cool things about like the world and how mammals have adapted and how we like can kind of coexist in things. They're also kind of cool because they have like poison and can lay eggs and other cool shit. Um, but one thing I want to actually touch on, and it goes into the next part of it, is the casual use of the term. Glasses. Casual use of the term spirit animal. It's one of those things that is casually racist and is unknown to kind of a lot of the culture at large. One that's kind of become more known is that you don't say like someone gypped me because like that's specifically being offensive towards like Romani. And with spirit animal, it's like it belongs to some very like specific cultures, and it is not ours. It is a spiritual thing and very like personal to the people that use that term. And they don't use spirit animal, of course, but that's the translation that like white people decided to use. And we should stop, like as a culture, just stop using that word. Instead, some great things to say instead, like what I used before was mascot. If you're talking about an animal that represents something, or like a symbol, we have that word too. There's also Patronus, because thank you, J.K. Rowling, for giving us like the animal that comes out with our magic. Why not? Um, but yeah, that's more belonging to like white people, and that's more of what I want to go with that. Now, going on to white people, I have another one from Brian. It says, "Is it morally slash ethically acceptable for the modern descendants of European colonizers to own land on this continent?" Short answer, no. Long answer, um, one, ownership is a weird concept that's about power. It's about being able to show off what you have and to kind of put it in contrast to what other people don't. It's about stealing and taking and holding on to for yourself versus spreading out for like everyone. Um, I think as we become a more global society, it's going to become even more apparent that this modality it's not sustainable. It's not going to work. Although the amount of power and wealth that has accumulated already by the people who do own things has made it very, very hard to change that. But the cracks are forming all over the place as they have been since the beginning. All right, next question uh, from Rachel, the best Rachel, I should say. Commentary on ableism in the gun debate and other jokes made by politicians. So the ableism in the gun debate, I think you're talking about how they constantly say that like white guys who go on rampages are mentally ill, and that we don't need to work on gun safety. We need to work on like mental health and make sure that these people who are ill can't get access to guns. Um, yeah, it's very ableist. It's this very black and white picture that people are healthy or they are unhealthy, and unhealthy people are causing all of the problems. When in reality, like, guns are, although they are like given in America as like a constitutional right, even though I'm not going to go into that debate right now. Is there something about guns in the Constitution? Yes. Does it mean kind of what it's been like curved to mean? As per the American legal system, yes. As per my opinion, a little different, but that's another day. Um, but yeah, like the use of that constant, this person was sick, this person was ill, that's why they shot up a theater through full of people, not because this person was isolated, this person did not have access to adequate medical care or mental health care, this person did not have access to a family that probably wasn't like toxic in some way, because rarely are people in a fucking vacuum. Um, like those things aren't talked about. And the other jokes that politicians make, they're again like a representation of that power. When people punch down with a joke, they're saying, I am above you and you are worthy of ridicule. And the fact that everyone is laughing means everyone agrees with me that you are should be ridiculed. So great question. I'll definitely be talking about more things like that in the future, I'm sure of it. The next question comes from Ashley. It says, what is the most valuable thing you learned about living and working in DC? Um, so the first most valuable thing that I learned is that gentrification is the devil. Um, the second thing that I learned is Washington D.C. is an incredibly diverse part of the United States. It's perfectly positioned between the South and the North. Um, it's on the East Coast, so it's near a lot of other major cities. Um, so it gets a lot of people coming from lots of places. There's definitely a lot of awareness about like the political system that I don't often see in other places, which makes sense. It's like that is the neighborhood sport is politics kind of in DC in a lot of ways. Not for everyone, but I did find more people that was that way. Um, there's there's definitely like some very distinct reflections of like where America is in that the way that DC is kind of being gentrified and turned into this like new place and pushing out all of the black and brown people that lived there before is so indicative of what's going on in every other city in America right now. But I probably can't say every other. I'm sure someone can point to some cities that are moving in the opposite direction. Like I'm willing to bet that that's the case. But the most valuable thing that I learned is that uh, I could be, I could do things. I had personal power and I had people around me that supported what I believed in and I supported what they believed in, and that gave us a sort of collective power to make things happen. And I got to really inspire people to be more confident in themselves and to be more of who they are. And it was really valuable to get to see those skills in a place so foreign to me. I mean, I grew up in like rural Louisiana, living in a city like DC where there's so much hustle and bustle and it's just so compacted. Like if you don't know, Washington DC is like a 10 by 10 like diamond with like one bit cut out. And it's everything. Like you can find everything in that 10 by 10. And like there's so much difference between all the neighborhoods and all the people that you get to meet, and it's one of my favorite places in the United States by far. Cool. Last question is from Christine. Christine asks, what do you think about Mpreg, which is male pregnancy? First of all, hot. Second of all, really hot. Third of all, I'm surprised I never knew about this. It's like guys with like bellies out to here and like beautiful like gay love that like has like two men like tending to each other and holding on and being all sensual. It's really fucking cool, and I'm definitely gonna look up more of that. Um, Cool. Well, that's all the questions for now. Thank you for coming to this particular episode of Ask Rachel, and I will see you all next time.